Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Sotah, page 7, which discusses in a case where there were witnesses of this woman being secluded. Her husband warned her not to be secluded, and in this situation we have the husband bring his wife to the great Sanhedrin in the temple in Jerusalem, and there's a dispute whether or not they can just go on this journey themselves as husband and wife alone, or do we also want a couple other people to accompany them? The question is, what is the benefit of having those two extra people? Because as we've learned previously, that the only time this test is actually going to be effective is only in a situation where they did not actually, as husband and wife, have relations after she's been accused. But if once she's already been accused and was already secluded, she's forbidden to her husband, and if on the road they end up having relations, then the whole thing would be ineffective anyway. So according to one opinion, we require two witnesses to be with them to make sure that they do not have relations. Now, according to another opinion, according to Rabbi Yehuda, he says it's not necessary. Because if we think about it, there are certain times that a husband and wife are together, even though they're not allowed to have relations. According to Jewish law, there is a time in the month when a woman has her menstrual cycle, which is called during the time of being a nida, and of course these laws are extremely complex, in which a man and a woman are not allowed to have marital relations. But nonetheless, they're allowed to be alone in their house in the same room. We're not concerned that they're going to end up violating anything. We don't require every single family, it would almost be an impossibility to think about, to have two other people to constantly be around the husband and wife all the time, every single month, while she's in this physical state. And therefore, according to this opinion, we should say the same thing. The fact that they're on the road, we should also say that they should be able to be they don't need to be accompanied. On this, the Talmud gives two answers. He says, well, first of all, when it comes to the law of nida, actually there's a very, very strict punishment that's found in the Torah. So maybe that's the reason why they're not going to end up violating anything. However, when it comes to this man and this woman, who, again, the husband accused her of being secluded, and there was witnesses to that effect, so the prohibition of having relations is not as strong. So therefore, because the sin is not as great, you may be more likely to do that sin. Interesting point number one. The other point that's brought down is that when it comes to a man and a woman every single month, it's true, there are some days that they're not allowed to be intimate, but they know that after a few days go by, eventually they can resume marital relations. They could come back as husband and wife. So therefore, just like the expression found in many times in the Talmud, actually not here, of having what's called bread in your basket, that you know that in the future you're going to potentially have the ability to have something, so your desire for it is not going to be as great right now. Because you know, okay, I can't have it now, but tomorrow it'll be okay. Tomorrow I'll be able to indulge, if you will. Tomorrow I'll be able to have relations with my wife. So therefore it'll be okay. However, when it comes to this situation, when she is forbidden because she is accused of being a sotah, and if she admits to her guilt, she'll always be forbidden to her husband, so there maybe we're going to be more strict. So we see from here two interesting points. First of all, depending on how serious something is, will deter a person from committing the crime. So if you're soft on crime and we don't punish you, so what's the problem? People are just going to break the law. And unfortunately, we see this in this day and age. People are shoplifting left and right, unfortunately, stealing because they know that there are no punishments for it. And therefore, because of that, they do what they want. If you're more strict with people, then they're going to be less likely to do it. But second of all, the point that's brought here is that even if it's something in which you're tempted to do, but if you could hold yourself back just for a couple of days because you know that tomorrow it'll be permitted, then you're going to be less likely to commit that particular crime or to violate a particular sin.